せーのでもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化するよもっともっと
Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. We're now going to discuss Agent of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 3. Let me just state for the record that I am thoroughly enjoying these reviews because it's bringing to mind some of the things that I really enjoy. And Meek and I were just discussing that we might just go ahead and binge like maybe some of all of the seasons as we prepare for this Season 5 opening. We can't get all of that done, but, well, DC TV is going off, so we will have some extra time on our hands.
And we might do it on our weekend takeover on Rabbit.
Yeah, we could always do it there too. Switch it up. It doesn't have to be anime.
And you guys can watch it with us if you want.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're on to Season 3. Season 3 picks up several months from where it left off. And I would like to say maybe, because I've watched this episode quite a few times, I think Season 3, Episode 1 had one of the best openings.
Reminds me about it.
Because...
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah,
yes, we saw that one together.
Season 3 had one of the best openings, I think, maybe bar none for all of the superhero shows thus far.
Because I know one of the first scenes starts with the fish oil. Again, I know they're in the city. I remember they're in the city and just it's disaster. But yeah.
It was a great action sequence, and it wasn't an action sequence. And what I mean by that is we finally saw Daisy full on using her powers now as Daisy Johnson, aka Quake, which is her other name. She flips over an SUV. Because now what they've done in the time that we've had the hiatus, air quotes, is they've actually taken the time to develop things to help people who want to come into their powers and who aren't going to be a threat. So we meet what will eventually become a character that's a part of the Secret Warriors team. If we go back to last season, that was one of the things that Phil Coulson tasked her to do, because she was basically like, well, what can I do now? He was like, well, let's start with this. Let's do the Secret Warriors, and you could be the first one. All right. So, very cool scene. Lincoln is a part of the team. Max there or whatever. And at the same time, we have this little, group of, who we could compare them to. They're like the government's team of people that will come through and stop Inhumans. Because, a lot of people have been coming into the powers. We meet May's husband, which isn't a spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
It's Blair Underwood. He's super sexy. And he's the psychologist that works with S.h.i.e.L.D. And what he does is he basically talks to people who've gone through the change and whatever, and basically trying to just get them to realize that this is what's happened. It's not something that you could turn on and off, as far as you're Inhuman now. Now, whether you decide to use your powers is what that's your shtick. But, I'm here to help you cope and deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what can we say? Fitz has gone crazy because we didn't mention this, but he's always had a crush on Simmons. They finally get to the point where it's like, oh yeah, we can be together.
They get
and
close.
She gets sucked up by the monolith, okay, which is like a transportation device.
And that happened at the end of season 2.
Yeah,
but they don't know where she's at.
No. We don't know where she's at now. We know that he's gone off the deep end because all he's done is just try to find her. And may I state for the record that I had never been so turned on by his acting as I was in this season.
Why is that?
Because he actually, to me,
he developed as a character.
They developed his progression for that character a lot in this season, more than any of the others. Because he really had more to do. He was able to play on more emotions
because
this
of that. Okay.
Yeah, like when he was just yelling at the monolith and it wouldn't move, and he was trying to make it do something and he couldn't or whatever. That I was just like, okay, I'm feeling it.
And side note, I want to get the phone she had.
Yes. Okay. When we finally see her, because they do an episode later on.
Yes, it was like
you know
episode
what?
3
We
or 4 or
jumping way
something.
off.
Oh.
First of all, the government
That's episode 1.
the government group that's tasked with helping, or sometimes getting away the Inhumans that are supposed to be air quotes dangerous, is the ATCU. Okay. The leader of the ACTU is what's her name? Rosalind, I believe her name is. And if you've ever seen Unreal, which you probably should do a review of that, she plays on Unreal. And she's a pit bull in a skirt on Unreal, and she's a pit bull in a skirt in this. And yes. I'm not, I'm there for it. All right, so with that being said, yes, now getting back to it, when we have an episode that's just centric to Simmons, which I did not know how that was going to go, but they played it off very well. We see that she's on a whole nother planet. Okay? And we're able to see everything that happens on the planet because Fitz built her a phone that had like a 9-month battery lifespan from that initial charge. Okay. So somebody hit up all of the
she was still using it. Like every time they would say a month later, 2 months later, they was updating the time, and she was still trying to work her phone, try to dial back. And
now, in the midst of all of this, because this is not all. Also, what has happened is they meet a character known as Lash. Yes. And Lash is an Inhuman,
a freaking beast,
killing other Inhumans, and they don't know why. Eventually, they find out that if he feels that the person isn't warranted of the gift, he's able to take the Inhuman gene from them. We don't know this now. We just know he's killing people like a serial killer Inhuman or whatever. Now, something transpires where they're actually transporting. They find a guy that's been helping him to find out all these people who have now changed to Inhumans. And Daisy actually gets knocked out while they're transporting that guy, and she sees Lash turns back into a human. Okay? We're not going to spoil who it is. Okay? We're just going to say...
You'll be shocked.
Yeah, you'll be shocked. Pleasantly so, I believe. It was a good storyline. In the meantime, we also forgot to mention, because a lot goes on, that Lincoln leaves the team. Okay? He goes on the run. The ATCU's after him because Lincoln's a bit of a hothead. Lincoln's a bit of a hothead. That's all we're gonna say. He's a bit of a hothead.
Leave it like
okay. Now things are going well between Phil and his lady love, Rosalind. That's not really a spoiler. We kind of saw that going. You know, when people have that flirty but I'm not flirty type thing on TV, that normally means they're gonna get together. Now, this is a spoiler. She isn't long for the season, to be honest with you.
No, she has to get back to Unreal.
Yeah. And I think the reason why they did that is because that actually served his character to go on a little bit of a dark spin. I'm not going to tell you who kills her because that's also a huge spoiler. But I will say that because of that, everybody's on the hunt for her killer. For multiple reasons, because this person has entanglements with lots of different people. Okay. And eventually they figure out how they can get Simmons back. They deal with the monolith. But in the in the midst of bringing Simmons back, they also end up bringing another creature. And that creature sets off some craziness.
Other events to follow. We'll say
just full on craziness. Okay, we have to break and say a couple of things, so this one might be a little bit longer too. They meet Radcliffe, who's a scientist, and what he does is he actually melds he augmentates bodies with robotics and all that kind of stuff like that.
Kind of deals in AI, I guess, to a certain extent.
Now, I would have left him where he was. They were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And when we go into season 4, you'll know why.
Let's save him.
I just, if a person has that bad juju, leave them with their bad juju. But they didn't do that, so I digress. Anyway, he comes back into play, so that's why I'm bringing him up now. Long story short, after they find out who the bad guy of season 3 really is, because they think it's the ATCU, but the ATCU is actually a front for, yet again, Hydra. They come in contact with the bad guy of Hydra. They actually find a guy that when he touches you, he can tell you how you'll live and die. So there is a ongoing thread through the back half of the season, which is where we're at now with the review, where they're trying to figure out how things will happen. Now, without really spoiling how things will happen, they do a lot of great red herrings with things that you would see from the vision to make you think it was one person or another. I was totally shocked with how they ended it for season 3. But I'm pausing because I'm trying to think between the betrayal of season 3 and the betrayal of season 1. I think the reason why the season 3 betrayal was actually worse than the season 1 betrayal is because the season 3 betrayal that happens that leads us up to those final episodes wasn't something that this person could control. But it still comes into play as far as that betrayal really set everything in motion to make that prophecy that she saw, or that vision that she saw, come true. So where we leave off at the end of season 3 is we have some members that are no longer with us. Yes. Okay. Because of the members that are no longer with us, Daisy decides to become full-on Quake and go on her own. Phil's no longer the head of S.h.i.e.L.D. Okay? And Radcliffe does some of the dumbest mess that will completely take over season 4. And being a comic book person, I knew it was coming. It was just like they on some BS with this. But he creates the life model decoy, which is basically living, thinking, well, not living, but AI that continues to grow and think or whatever. Known as Ada. And yeah, we that's the end of season 3. Season 4 takes us on.
3 also is when, doesn't Daisy wake up in a certain place? Was that the end of 3 or 4?
That didn't happen in 3. The end
I'm
of
sorry.
season 3 was
I'm mixing my season finales together. Okay, sorry.
So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. Stay geeky, you guys.